y'all, Taylor here, the Mistress of Horror. Welcome back to my channel. Before we get started, how about you press that subscribe button and ring that bell so you know when I'm uploading new videos. I'm here for Vamptember goodness, and today's video is about the recommendations for Vamptember if you're doing it, or if you're just into vampire stuff, maybe you'd want to check some of this stuff out. Now I'm going to recommend based off of the prompts in the challenge, which again, if you don't know what Vamptember is on my channel, you should already know at this point because I released the announced video, and in my writer's blog this month I also mentioned Vamptember. So in this video I'm going to recommend some vampire themed novels, poems, movies, and shows, and I even have a vampire makeup line to recommend and perfume that I like. So we'll get into those at the end because they aren't technically a part of what I'm recommending for Vamptember's challenge, which, if you aren't aware of, and I'll leave the link below for the announcement video, is to read a vampire novel and or novella, a vampire poem and or short story, watch a vampire show themed vampy show and or movie, for people doing a challenge to dress up, cosplay as a vampire and take pictures and or video for social media, and then do a vampire art type of work, which would be a photographic collage, a poem of your own, a piece of art or painting or something like that, a sketch, those type of things. But I'm going to recommend based on the things I can recommend. Now, you can cosplay all you want. I don't know. I've been a cosplayer for a long time, but recommendations on that, I guess I could come up with something. But let's jump into the easy stuff. Books and movies and shows. Books, and I have most of those in physical for you, so hold on a second. One of the books that I always recommend for vampires, especially if you're into a romantic style telling of vampire stuff, is this one. This one has taken a bit of a beating. I've had it for a long time, but Blood to Blood, which is a the Dracula story continues by Elena Birdstorm, and she's also the author of Mina. So this one's really good. You see I read it a good amount. It's taking some beatings on the paperback because the hardback sleeve, because I've had this. It was brand new when I got it, but I've had it since I was like 20, and I went through a lot of stuff, so I'm surprised I still have this. See, when was this published? I don't recall. Like in 2000, so well before I read it. But yeah, this one I recommend always. I've talked about it a few times. Blood to Blood, I really enjoy. It's like a Dracula-based story. This one is one of the ones I'm going to be reading for. I'm going to be reading this one for Vamptember for my short story portion. And this is a Dracula retold by Michael Bergen. And it's a graphic novel. You see it's very thin. So I'm counting it as a short story for that. But I got this one a while back from Wonder Books when I was able to go to Wonder Books physically. It looked really good, but it's Dracula. So, of course, I'm going to recommend anything Dracula. I'm sure it's really good. I can't wait to dig into that one. That's one of the ones I'm really reading. Then you can never go wrong with Dracula. But I have many variations of Dracula. And this is another Dracula hardback. This one is by... well, this is Bram Stoker. It is a Bram Stoker's version of Dracula, not a reworked or someone else telling it. And this is illustrated by Becky Coleman. This one is this type of illustration, but this is just Dracula by Bram Stoker. Not just, but this is not anything different. Like the other one is written by someone else, their version. But yeah, this one's illustrated. Some of the illustration. But yeah, I recommend this one. I'm not sure about how easy it is to get it now, but I think this one is relatively still easy to get. I think the pictures add more of a different feeling to it. So definitely recommend that. That one I've read. This is one of the ones I'm reading for the first prompt, whereas read a story, a novella, or a novel. But I'm reading a full size novel. Technically, this is too. The size is a graphic novel. This is the Anne Rice's The Vampire Lestat graphic novel. You can't get this easy at this point. And I got a copy from Wonder Books like years ago when um, Toys R Us was still open because they were closing one, and I went in there so my daughter could see Toys R Us before it was gone. And they had a Wonder Book over there, so I stopped in and found a whole bunch of cool vampire stuff and a whole bunch of other comic book-esque things that I like. Um, so you can see the painted by Derek Gross here, adapted by Faye. I don't know how per Ozich. So this is the graphic novel of Vampire Lestat. It's pretty beefy for a graphic novel, I think. So that's one of the ones I'm doing. I've read Vampire Lestat a lot, so that's not something that I can't recommend. This one is another Dracula book. This one is a adapted by Nikki Raven, illustrated by Anna Gilbert. I wanted to show some of the illustration inside here. You see, so, but the cover illustration is really, really nice. So of course I recommend any Dracula books. And the way this is written is very unique. It has a nice book smell to it too. So those are the books I'm recommending for Vamptember. Can't get more vampy than Dracula, okay? So let's jump into these shows and movie recommendations. Because as you may or may not know, watching my channel, that I watch mostly Asian cinema. So I usually watch Korean, Japanese, and Chinese cinema. That's my preferred viewing type of shows and or movies. So I will be recommending some of those, but when it's horror, I do watch some Western television still in that sense. But so I do have a few English based ones in here. If subtitle isn't your thing, I can understand Japanese, speak Japanese, and Korean. I'm understanding a lot more that I can watch it without subtitles. The watching stuff with subtitles does not bother me, but some people don't like it. So that you would have to decide on your own. And Chinese and Mandarin, I'm learning. So they're really easy for me to pick up. Now, some people know, but, again, if you don't mind watching any foreign film and then reading subtitles, then cool. If not, then wait for the English recommendations. So the first ones I'm going to recommend are the shows, vampire shows. Snowfall. That one I viewed on Viki, which is a streaming service that has Asian film. I have a subscription to that, so you'd have to probably watch it on there. It could be available other places, but this is where I watched it. And it is a show. Usually most Chinese and Korean and Japanese shows only have one season, so it's not like something you have to watch multiple seasons for. But this one is really good. It follows the story of a male vampire who is supposed to be around 30, and when he turned into a vampire, and he's old, he's over 100 or something. And the female lead is a young woman who is probably like just turning 20 or so. She looks very young. She still lives with her family. She's being abused. So he comes across her because she saves him when he's gotten attacked to the point that he might not make it. He's a vampire, but you can't kill vampires. So she helps him, and she's blind. So I thought that was an interesting aspect. But when she gets any semblance of his blood mixed with her or anything, like it gets in her eyes or something, she can see for a short period of time. So that was an interesting take on it. It's a bit tragic, I will warn. So if you're not into tragedies, I don't recommend it. But if you can handle those and enjoy the story still, then I recommend Snowfall for a show to watch. That one is actually a Chinese drama, so you're aware, Mandarin. I want to recommend is The Scholar That Walks at Night. That is a Korean drama, was also very good, slightly tragic, but very good. I really like that one a lot. Watched it a couple years ago. Definitely a recommendation. Acting's on point. Very good stuff. Another one called Blood, that is a Korean drama. That one has a more happy ending. Romance, that one's pretty good. It's a doctor who's a vampire. Now, I didn't mention really much about The Scholar at Night. It's more of a time set piece. Hosang, somewhat Hosang period piece. Blood is more modern day doctors and blah blah. And the American show that I can recommend is The Strand. That's based off of an actual book series. It's decent. I think it's from like 2014 or something. But I could say that it's decent enough to watch. I really did like the vampire. He was kind of like what a vampire would be almost, but their vampires are very, very weird on The Strand. Like for real. Almost Cthulhian vampire-esque if you ask me. But that's why I liked that. But yeah, check that one out if you're interested in something more gruesome, nice, romantic. It has some love interest between some of the characters in there, but it's not really about that. So check that one out if you're interested in that one. Is in English. Forever Night, I can recommend. It's also in English. That's a very good classic. Oh wait, I forgot one show. The show that I'm watching, Dracula. So the Dracula show with Jonathan Rhys Meyers. I always recommend that one. I really, really like that one. Now on to movies. Those are shows. So the movies I can recommend, I'm going to start with the Korean ones first. One called Immortal Vampire. That one was pretty decent, not too bad. It's a romance, vampire romance. Another one, Beautiful Vampire. That one has Song Kang in it, so that's a win, right? Both of these are Korean, so you have subtitles. I do recommend Abigail. I did like it, and that's newer. That's newer. I always recommend 30 Days of Night. That one's pretty violent vampire. That's not a romance at all. Queen of the Damned, which is another Anne Rice based off of Anne Rice story. I liked Queen of the Damned actually much better than I liked Interview with the Vampire. I know some people will be like, what? But I liked Stuart Townsend as Lestat. I think he did a much better job than Tom Cruise. Like, I'm sorry. Queen of the Damned was a whole nother story for me. Kasha was perfect. I thought Stuart Townsend did an amazing job as Lestat because I like Stuart Townsend too, but I think I did it better in my opinion. Again, but that's just me. So I do recommend Queen of the Damned. If you haven't seen it, I don't know who hasn't this time. Like, Akasha was the bomb, duty for real. That's too bad about Leah. She was awesome, but yeah. Of course, any of the underworlds that have vampires, but has werewolves in it too. I do like the underworlds, so those are decent. Always recommend underworlds. So I think that's all I have for movie recommendations, shows, and books. For as poetry, one second. A website that I can recommend for the poetry, poemhunter.com. It has a section on there. You can look it up. You can go like vampire poems, and that's where I found out about that a while ago. And they have a whole thing of links to very good vampire poetry. They'll give like a small little opening of it, and then you can click it to read the rest of the poem. And it'll take you to like, you'll see who the writer is, and then it'll have the whole poem. Then you can read the poem. I think you can leave comments. You can rate the poem and things like that. It has ads on the website, but you can just ignore those if you want, if it's not relevant to you. So yeah, they have quite a few poems on there that's vampire-esque, and I've read quite a few from that. So I do recommend that. Check out poemhunter.com, and check out vampire poems on there if you want to check out some new, fresher, or unknown poets who have something to offer that you may not know of. But other than that, that's recommendations I have for Vamptember. As far as the prompts. Now, the other stuff I wanted to recommend was this spray. Now, this is not product placement. This is not sponsored, but I love this. This is Vampire Blood. You see the name? Vampire Blood. This is a Bed Bath & Beyond. From the Bed Bath & Beyond like Halloween line. I really like it. It's kind of fruity. It has like red berries, night blooming jasmine, and petrifying plum mixture, and it smells heavenly. It's really good. You know what I mean? It smells like a vampire. It's got this smell, man. It's free, like types of. So I recommend that one. But I said I want to recommend Twilight Vampire palette. Um, there was a Dracula one that I haven't gotten yet. I really want to get it, but you know I'm a big makeup buff. And if you're a Twilight fan, it has like a lot of different words that match the Twilight one. This is the palette, the eyeshadow palette. See, they have the forks, the woods and forks from the book movie. And then that's the makeup. And you have Picture Bella and Edward and their tones and colors. And then they have like lipsticks. I had the whole set. So these are two of the shimmers. I use the Meadow all the time because the other one's Vampire Skin, supposed to make your skin shine, but I think the Meadow shows more because it's like a purple. It doesn't look like a purple, but watch when I put it on. So, mm-hmm. Yep. See that? See? Yep. So it's really cool. Like, so it's another vampire thing for Vamptember. Like Team Edward. And it's just the different lipstick colors. They lip oils. Which I'm not big into lip oils, but these are, see, like the Edward one is like a blue. I think Bella's is like a light burgundy. And Jacob's is, I can't remember what color Jacob's is because I don't, it's like a silverish purple. Like almost a black or like a silver. I haven't worn his yet because I'm Team Edward. But, yeah, but I will at some point. And Bella's is like I said, like a light natural tone, like a red maybe and burgundy. Yeah, see, so hers is like a burgundy, earthy tone. But yeah, so anyway, I do recommend that set. I really liked that set when I got it. Really good set, but I digress on that. Those are my recommendations for Vamptember. I'm going to have fun with this. There's still ways to go. Let's see what happens, because I have a lot I'm doing for it. Even a dance, which I mentioned in my announcement video, so check that out. And I'll check you all next time. See you soon and stay scared.